Well, good morning, everybody. It's just said that I had an error and try again later to go live, but I guess I am live. So, um, my name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas, and I want to welcome you here today. Today is Thursday, February 5th, 2026, and you are watching me on Creating Cards with Debbie, either on YouTube or on my or on my Facebook page. I had a senior moment there for a moment. Okay, so we're going to be doing 3 cards today, and be sure that when you shop with me that you check that last chance list, because there's some new items that were just added. I hadn't even looked at it yet, but I'm sure that some of my items are probably on there. And hopefully you can get them at a discount, so that's even better. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with our housekeeping notes. So, Paper Pumpkin for the month of February, it says celebrate spring. And let me get my paperwork over here so I can follow along. It says celebrate spring. You've got until February 10th to sign up with this one. And says craft whimsical handmade cards that celebrate Easter and sweet spring days. I'm ready for spring. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. Pre-cut paper pieces and pink baker's twine, easy for me to say, iridescent pink and yellow sequins, and the Stampin' Spot that comes with this is going to be the Shy Shamrock. It says that it coordinates with the Easter Joy Sweet Collection, which is item number 166954. You might want to check that out to go along with it. And also, along with the Paper Pumpkin kit for each quarter, Stampin' Up! Has got dies that go along with them. So this would go with the January, February, and March Paper Pumpkin kits. And these are $13. And the item number is 168666. But you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber in order to order these. So you could sign up for this month's Paper Pumpkin kit and add this onto your order. And we've got the postage stamp die, a beautiful, looks like tulips, and the leaves for it. So really cute. All right. And then next we've got the product of the month for February is called Painted Illusions 12 by 12 designer series paper. And I hadn't got mine yet, but I plan to put it on my next order. And what that is, when you spend $75 before sales and tax and everything, you can add that onto your order for just $5. So that's a bargain. A designer series paper for $5. Can't go wrong there. All right. And also, last month we had bonus days going on where every $50 that you spent, you got a $5 coupon emailed to you. So now is the time to redeem these bonus days coupons before they're out. You've got until February 28th to use those. If you have any questions, reach out to me and I'll explain it a little bit better then. Okay. And then next, Stampin' Up! Has got a new promotion going on for getting your starter kit, joining my team. It says, when you join Stampin' Up! February 3rd to March 2nd, you'll get our new stamp positioner tool free. Along with your Stampin' Up! Positioner, you'll receive your starter kit, which includes free business supplies and free shipping. Okay. During this offer, you can also order Stampin' Positioner grid paper, and this item is sold separately and not included in the exclusive offer. I'll be using that today, and the item number for that is 169442, and it is $15, I believe, is what it cost me. All right, and we're going to be using the Stampin' Positioner today, so you'll get to see how it works and everything. Minus the magnets. I can't use the magnets because I have a pacemaker, so I'm just going to use washi tape to hold my things in place. But but it still works really good. And at a later date, they're going to be putting that so customers can buy, but we've got no idea when. So this is your best choice, is to get the Stampin' Positioner with your starter kit, which means that you pay $99 for your kit and you get to pick out $125 worth of products, your choice, and that'll be free shipping and everything. So if you got an order that size at $99, you might as well do this and get the positioner along with it. All right, so here's another picture of it. And the join thing is in my description of my video, so you can just click on that and go check it out. All right, so I'm thinking you can shop with me any items that we're doing today. And it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It's www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And the Paper Pumpkin website is in the description of our video too. So, okay. And if you want to get your starter kit, you can click on this website and it'll take you directly there, and you can find all the details and how to do it and everything. So that's also in the description of the video. So I'm going to remove that. Whoops, I'm clicking on the wrong buttons here. All right, so let me take you to my desktop and we'll go ahead and get started today. I didn't mute my phone. Sorry about that. Okay. Let me remove that, bring this up. And I've got some glare, so I'm going to move my light out of the way and see if we still have good lighting. Not really, but we're going to have to go with it. Be sure when you come on, you say hello, say where you're watching me from. It's fun to see where everybody is. Okay, so here's the stamp positioner. And let me see if I can show you a little bit better. Okay, I've already got my stamp, my stamp already mounted that we're going to be using on our first card today. This is the lasting linen stamp set. It's a full sheet, so it works really good. And the plates are 10 inches by 7.5 inches, so they've got a good area for stamping surface space. So here's the grid paper. I already got mine messed up. It's got little bitty holes on the top here, and those just punch into these little pegs that are sticking up to hold your paper in place. Still getting a lot of glare. And I'm just using my washi tape to hold it in place. And when you go to use it, you got your stamp mounted on there, and you're going to match up those holes on top and make sure that the Stampin' Up logo is towards you. And all we do is just press it down and it stamps. And then we've got another feature to it. Let's grabbing my paper here. I should turn that over and get the clean side, but we're going to go ahead and use the dirty side today. Make use of it. It's not hurting anything. And then we've got a smaller one that's for, you can put your sentiments on here. And then you can do the tile stamping. You just move to each notch. And there's a little bitty hole up there that goes into. And then when you want to stamp, you just push it down. So it goes all the way across. You can do the tiling. All right, I don't need that right now. And here's the pad of the grid paper. One side is imperial measurements and the other side is symmetric. So you've got 50 sheets. I think that's what it is. Yeah, 50 sheets. It's called the Stampin' Positioner grid paper. Item number is 169442. So you can add that to your order along with your starter kit. All right, so we're going to put this back in place for now. We're going to move that off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. We've got some new stamps that have came out. And you've probably seen other demonstrators using it already. I just got mine the other day. It's called the Cutest Crew. It's got a roll of cats, some dogs, and some birds, and then some dog footprints or cat footprints. Looks like bird prints, and then some butterflies. And the sentiments are happy birthday, just a little hello, so glad we're friends, have the best day. So really cute. And it's got the dies that go along with it. And you've got 16 dies in here. So you can cut out the animals separately, or you can cut them out in a group. And then it's got this little die cut here to cut out footprints. And we're going to be using that on our card today. And then this other one that's got this slanted dashes. I'm not sure what that would be called. But very cute. I had fun working with it. And let me show you what we're going to be making. Our first project. Okay, just a little hello. And this one I embossed the paper, but we're not going to emboss it on our card that we're doing today. I'm going to be using the linen stamp instead. So either way works really good. It's just a little hello. And so glad we're friends. And then this is the little die cut. And I put another early espresso layer underneath it so that the paw prints show up better. And so glad we're friends. And then these are little hearts were the cutouts from the paw prints. I just added those to the top of the card just for a little added something. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Things in the way here. I'll set that there for now. Let me get all my bits and pieces out here. Feels like I forgot something. See, I told you about the joining special. I told you about paper pumpkin, redeeming your bonus points. I think I maybe did cover everything then. All right. Okay, we're going to start out with our card base, which measures 5.5 by 8.5 inches, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches, or you can just fold it either way. And we're just going to burnish that folder lining with our bone folder. And we're going to go portrait style. All right. And then we've got an early espresso. That is 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And that's what we're going to be stamping using our positioner for using the linen, lasting linen stamp set. And it keeps grabbing my paper off of there. No biggie. Easy fix. All right. And we're going to place this down. I'm not going to tape it down because I got to do the whole section of that layer. So we're just going to do without. And I'm going to be using the early espresso ink pad. So I hope everybody's had a good week. Mine's been going good this week. I don't think I have anything to complain about. Our weather is improving. The snow is almost gone. We've still got some spots, but it's pretty much gone. We're glad of that. We're able to get out again. Okay. And it won't ink up anything until you push down on it. So we're going to give it a good push. And I'm going to hold it there just for a second. It's got like springs. And then it pops back up. And take our paper off of there. And I'm just going to set this back on here. I'm not sure if I'm using it for anything else today. So just keep it within arm's reach here. All right. I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick up the, there we go. So that's the linen, lasting linen stamp set. And we're going to do some heat embossing next. I've got my gun over here, and I've got my toolkit. And I need a scrap paper, so we're going to reach into my cubby hole here and grab one of those. Paper's stuck together. I don't need that whole sheet. I just need a small one. All right. I guess it don't matter which side I use. And we're going to close up our early espresso so we don't have any accidents happening. And I'm going to take my Simply Chamois, or no, my embossing buddy. Couldn't think of the name. And I'm just going to put some of that onto my card base, or my early espresso layer. And I've got my Versamark ink pad. And my stamp is going to say just a little hello. So we're going to ink that up really good. And I'm going to do it again just to make sure I've got a full coverage on there. And we're going to stamp that in the bottom corner, bottom right-hand corner. Put our cover back on that. And I'm going to use white embossing powder. Make sure I got good coverage. Yeah, one more. All right. And I'll pick this up and put it back in my jar. And bring my heat tool over here. Let that heat up for a little bit. Let the magic begin. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera very well. It always amazes me when I'm melting embossing powder. I think it's one of the coolest techniques we've got. All right, and that can be set down. All right, I'm going to brush off some of that powder. And I'm going to move that out of the way so we don't get embossing powder on everything. All right, then next we have a Secret C layer. And this measures 3 1/8 inches by 3 1/8 inches. And it's going to go at our upper portion there. And then our basic white is 3 inches by 3 inches. But we're going to do some stamping and stitch on there. So I've got our water painters, and I'm using the largest one. And I'm going to grab me a block over here to grab some ink. We're going to use our crumb cake. And I'm just going to press my block into the pad. Of course, stick my fingers in it. Ouch. And I guess I should let that scrap paper up here and then grab another one. And get a little bit messy here. And I'm going to push some water down. And grab up some ink here, and I'm just going to swirl it. All right, I think that's good. Set that over there for now. And take my inky ray and wipe that block off. All right, I'm going to use my heat gun to dry this. So I don't burn my fingers. I'm going to dry this really quick, so I don't have to wait for it. Dry. So I'm straighten out the paper. A little curl to it, but that's not going to hurt nothing. And then decide which way you want it going. Maybe this way. And I'm going to grab my paw prints, and using the crumb cake stamp pad, I'm going to add some paw prints walking across our background. So I'm going to start maybe right there. Kind of follow the swirl. And around we go. Last one. Okay, we can close that up. All right, then next we're going to stamp our dogs. And I'm using black memento. And stamp them down. Close this up. And then we're going to color our dogs. Let's pull that paper out of there again. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these first. This layer is going to go onto our card front, centered. Ooh, I should have grabbed another tube of glue, I think. Hopefully we can get through our projects today without needing a new bottle. And centered on our card front. Does that look straight? I think that's straight. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. I'll press that down. And then we're going to add this layer to our secret C layer with our adhesive. I never did find my silicone mat. I'm not sure where it went. I guess I'm going to have to order a new one. You guys, that happened to anybody else? You lose things and never find them? It'll probably show up after I get a new one. That's how it goes. All right, now this is going to go onto the front. We're going to keep it up towards the top and center it on both sides, top and sides. So here we are so far. And put that away for now. We're going to do some coloring. And I'm going to use a few Stampin' Blends here. I have had the dropsies all week long. I don't know what's going on. All right. We've got crumb cake. We've got pecan pie, lemon lolly, and the light strawberry slush, and the light olive green, old olive, I mean. So let's cover these dogs. I'm going to start out with our crumb cake. And I want the light crumb cake first. And we're just going to color this first dog with light crumb cake. I'm leaving his ears. I'm going to do those with the dark crumb cake. All right, and I'll come back in with the dark crumb cake. Put that right here. This week has gone fast. Every day's been going fast. I don't know. Not just today or this week. All right, then next we're going to do pecan pie. And I'm going to start with the light. This is one of the colors that's going to be retiring in May, I think. So you might want to add those to your wish list. Get them while you still can. I think I'm just going to do the light pecan pie on this first dog here. And that's his leg there. His tail. And we'll do the light pecan pie again. It looks like a schnauzer. I don't see any Boston Terriers in this. Oops, I'll do his ears darker. Okay, missed a spot there. Come back with the dark pecan pie. We're going to do his ears, the darker. And then our next dog, the light pecan pie again. I'm just going to do his ears, the darker pecan pie. Okay, now the dark pecan pie. And that's all for that one. Let's do the strawberry slush light. I'm going to do their tag on their collars. And this one's tongue. Another tag. And the scarf. All right, and then we've got our flowers. We're going to do the light lemon lolly. I think that's the one I'm using. I'm not using the dark. I'm just using the light lemon lolly to do the petals of the flowers. And our light old olive. We'll do the stems and leaves of the flowers. If you didn't want to color these dogs, you could stamp them onto cardstock. Then they'd be the color that you want, okay? And then next, the die that cuts those out is this one here. But I've already cut that out already, so you don't have to watch me do that. Let me get it out here. There they are. Put that on there. And those back in the envelopes. I don't lose them. All right. Now this is going to be too wide for this. So I'm going to cut just a 3 off of here. And where's my scissors? And I'm just going to go around his nose, between his nose and that flower. And I'm going to round my corners off a little bit here. All right. And we're going to place these up on dimensionals. Which I just had here. There they are. And I think I'm going to use all little ones. Get my take your pick tool. I need to scooch up. Falling out of my chair here. And these little guys up on dimensionals. This one is going to go right here. And our group of dogs here. I'm going to put plenty of dimensionals on here because I don't want it sinking. I'm using my edges. And I don't know if I can fit a small one on there. Will it? I guess it does. Okay. All right. So here are our group of dogs, and then our single dog is going to go on the bottom. So let me pop those dimensionals off. Put this little guy down here. And get these backings off. And place them on our card front. Okay. And I'm going to add some bling to our card. I've got a crumb cake, I guess, color baker's twine. It's going to go at our top corner here, and I'm going to use our mini glue dots. And place that up in our top corner. And I'm going to kind of roll that into a log, kind of, so I don't have any sticking out and being sticky. And my bow's kind of gotten wonky. And next we've got some gems. Oh, they're right here beside me. And these are on the last chance list also. They were $9. They're marked down to $8.10, and they're called the streak dots. Item number is 165902. So let's get these open. And Find an opening. There it is. We're going to place 3 on our card front. Get my take your pick tool to grab those off with. And I'm going to use the larger ones. Right there. And another one. There. And I'll go with the medium-sized one. Can go up here. All right, so there's the card front. Let's do the inside. I've got a basic weight somewhere, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. It's going to go on our inside of our card, but we're going to do our stamping and everything first. And the sentiment that we used is "So glad we're friends." Well, here it is. So glad we're friends. It's going to go at the bottom. But I have already die cut our crumb cake with the footprints. This die is this one here. And then next, I've got a strip of early espresso, and this is 5/8 inches, and then it'll be 4 inches across. I'm going to lay that down first and get an idea where I want to put my sentiment. And I think I'll use the early espresso to stamp the sentiment with. So glad we're friends. And I'm going to hit the camera here. Let me bring that down a little bit. And I just want to leave a little edge at the bottom. And stamp. So glad we're friends. Pick up our ink pad. Wipe the ink off my fingers. All right, then we're going to take this and I don't know. Yeah, we're going to punch these all out. I thought about leaving them there, but I like it better without. Then the early espresso will show through. Come on, loosen up. There we go. Not so quiet. Got JoJo taking her nap. We took her to the vet yesterday. She was due for her yearly checkup and shots. So we did all that. So she's good for a year again. Well, come on, pop out of there. Got some scragglers here. I need to get them off of there. And get them off better on the back side. Oh, this is taking longer than I thought. I had it done ahead of time. I should have popped all these out. What you doing, JoJo? Supposed to be taking your nap. Huh? Okay, I'm going to push these up out of my way because I'm going to be using some of those hearts. that came out of the paw prints. And grab my glue. Just putting glue in between each paw print. That should help hold it in place good. I'm going to place that on that early espresso. I'm going to butt it right up against that left side. And this is going to go across here. Okay. Bring that back over. Attach this. Getting it straight. That's always a challenge for me. All right, grab our paper snips and we're going to snip that excess off. And a little bit on the side. We'll put that inside of our card. And center that. And that is totally crooked. And I'm going to put 3 drops of glue at the top corner. And using our Take Your Pick tool with the putty end, we're going to pick up those hearts. And one more here. I got smudge on my paper there. Yeah. All right. Here's our first card. Let me trim those tails first. And snip. Make that a little shorter. And that bow is really wonky. Okay, just a little hello. I thought my camera froze there for a minute. Just a little hello with the little doggies. And on the inside, so glad we're friends. Okay, that's our first card. Let me clean up here a little bit and we'll get on with our second card. I forgot to show you our mini catalog is in effect. It's January through April. And we have some new online exclusives that started for March next month. All right. Well, we've done that. Our next one, we're using the lovely arrangements. Move some of this stuff out of my way. Okay. I mess here a little bit. We're using the lovely arrangements bundle, the stamps and the dies. get some pieces out here. Our next two cards are going to be fun folds. So here's our next one. And more room here to put this all out. Yeah. Okay, hello friend. And it opens like this. Always here for you. Get my instructions. Okay. So we're going to start out with our card base, which is Petal Pink. It measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So I'm going to burnish that fold line. And I'm going to bring my paper trimmer out here because we're going to cut off part of this front flap. It says cut 2/3, 2 3/4 from the front flap. So 2 3/4 will be right here. And save that piece that you're cutting off. So it's going to go like this. And then we've got our designer series paper for the inside, which measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. It's going to go into our center. So we're going to go ahead and attach that, get it out of our way. And we'll place that down inside of our card. Press down. Okay. Now we're going to work on the outside of our card first. That's the piece that we cut off. It goes on the inside. And then we have two layers. We got the flowers. And these are 2 1/2 by 4 inches. That's going to go onto our flap there. And then another sheet that is 2 1/2 inches by 4 inches. Yeah, 2 1/2. Yep. And attach those together. Goes onto there. This one goes onto our flap. Oh, and I didn't show you the paper that this is from. Put it this way. All right, the paper this comes from is the Lovely Blossoms. And we're using this pattern here and this pattern right here. All right, and then we're going to attach this to the front of our flap there. And you don't want to put glue on the whole layer. You want to just hold your finger where you don't want to go past. We're just going to put glue at that one end. And we're going to center that. So that looks about right there. Maybe over a little bit. I sat down for a bit. And then I have die cut our basic weight using the textured notes dies. I'm using, this is the, it doesn't say which one I used. Oh, okay, the number 5 from the largest, number 5. It's going to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that onto our flap. Center it. The camera keeps freezing. I wonder why. Maybe my internet stream isn't doing very good today. All right, and then next, all right. Okay, so we've got a white layer here. We're going to put on the inside, but I need to stamp first. Always here for you. And we're going to use black memento ink. Always here for you. I'll do that at the upper left-hand corner. Kind of shaky today. Must be caffeine high or something. Close that up. Oh, we got our little banner we need to stamp. It's right here. And these, oops, I need a plain one. These come from the dies that are with the Lovely Arrangements dies. I'm using this banner right here. And we're going to stamp Hello Friend. And I'm going to put it off to the right side as far as I can get it. It's not too bad. And then next, I have already stamped the flowers. So I've got a large one, a smaller one, and then the leaf. So I did that ahead of time. Close this up. I stamped them with the Secret C, and then I die cut them out. So we're going to go ahead and put this inside. How I do that is I line these two up because I don't want my white to show that area. So we're going to put our glue on the back of that. Come on, glue. Don't fail me now. Yeah, I've got a heart stuck to it. And again, holding it underneath that flap so it hides it. And I'm just going to close my card, press it down, let it attach. See, so you don't see it on the front side. It's all hidden. All right, then I'm going to take my flowers and I'm going to arrange them. I'm supposed to have 3. There they are. There's 2 large ones and a small one. So I'm going to kind of do a dry fit here. See where I want them to be. And this one right about there. I might want to scooch that up because I want our sentiment to fit in there. Okay. And moving on me, get back up there. And start like that, like this. I'm missing a leaf. Okay, here it is, it's hiding. So 2 leaves and 2 large flowers and 1 small flower is what you're needing with this one. So let me see. Don't like that hidden underneath there. Well, maybe lower. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not putting these on dimensionals. I'm going to glue them directly down to my card front. And I'm going to start up here with this one. Just put a little glue in the center. I don't know which way this goes. I think it goes that way. And our next one. You never know which way these go. So it looks good there. And it's going to slip in there. Does it fit there? Yeah. Okay, press that down. I'm going to attach our sentiment. And our leaves. I'm just putting glue on the bottom side, not the whole thing. Push that up underneath. And our other leaf can go at the bottom. I'm going to turn this so I can see what I'm doing. Well, all right. And we're going to add some gems. I'm using the Moody Palette Glossy Dots. And I'm going to use the Cloud Cover color, this one here. And a large blue cloud cover right there. And a small one next to that. And a medium. Inside of our flower. And I'm going to do all 3. I'm still keeping with the odd number. It's going to be 5 that I'm using instead of just the standard 3 that I use. And stick to my other flower. Probably not going to show that much in there. Whoops, where'd it go? Well, it's being temperamental here. Oh, goodness. All right. Hello, friend. On the inside, always here for you. If you wanted to, you could add a little strip that's left over. I think I'll do that. Just to shoosh it up a little bit. I'm putting it on that right side, leaving just a small border. Just something a little extra. We already cut it, might as well use it. Okay, hello friend. And I'm always here for you. Oh, I didn't color my flowers. That's okay. On my original, I used that cloud cover and I added a little color to the flowers, but I think either way is good, with or without. All right, clean up our mess and we'll go on with our next one. Okay. Next, we have another unfold. And all my bits and pieces out. Spread joy. Just a little fun fold. Spread joy. And then on the inside it opens. Hello friend, love you lots. So I'm letting the paper do most of the work on this card. All right. Now if I can explain this. Where did I do my instructions? Okay. So our card base is going to be our thick white. All right, I've already got these cut already. Let me see. Okay. So here's our card base. Made a Z fold out of it. And that's the thick white. Let me burnish this and then we'll talk about the dimensions. Okay. So 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2, and again at 8 1/4, which will give you that front flap. And then we've got Mossy Meadow. It's going to be the inside of our card, and that measures 4 by 5 3/8 inches. We'll sit in there. And then our Designer Series paper is 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And let me show you that paper. It's the Cute as a Bug, 12 by 12. We're using this pattern. And on the other side here, where did it go? Okay. And also this pattern right here. And let me just get all the layers out here. This is 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/4 for the Designer Series paper. And the Mossy Meadow is 4 inches by 5 3/8 inches. So let's go ahead and attach those. Okay, grab that. Place this on there. I don't remember who I got this idea from. Somebody on YouTube, I believe. I should have wrote her name down so I could give her credit for it. I did change it up a little bit with mine, but the layout's pretty much hers. All right, I'm going to place that down on the inside of our card. Getting it straight. I'm getting hungry. I think my stomach's going to start growling here in a little bit. Okay, and this goes on the front side. We've got a mossy meadow that measures 2 5/8 inches by 4 inches. And then our designer series paper is 2.5 by 3 7/8 inches. That's going to go onto that front flap. So let's glue those together. I love this paper. It's so cute. So Sweet is cute. These are the good bugs. Not the ants and stuff that you have crawling in your kitchen when you don't want them. All right, we're going to attach that to our front flap. And it's not directional, so it doesn't matter how it goes on there. Let me open this, lay it flat. Okay. We're missing a paper. Okay, the inside of our card is our thick white also. And this measures 10 inches by 3 3/8 inches, and it's scored at 4 and 7. So we're going to burnish those score lines. And making it over here. And the wider one is going to be the front. So let's go ahead and attach our paper to those. Is that the right one? Yep. Okay. So our mossy meadow is 3 1/4 inches by 3 7/8 inches. And we'll attach that to the front of our insert. Let's go this way. Place that down, leaving a small edge going around it. And then our designer series paper, which I said was 3 1/8 by 3 3/4. That's going to go there. And put that down. So that's our front. And then next we have looking at my original. That goes there. And then we've got another mossy meadow that measures I'm trying to see which is which here. Okay, that will go there. This one goes here. And this on top of that. So our mossy meadow is 2 7/8 inches by 3 1/4 inches. And then designer series paper is 2 3/4 inches by 3 1/8 inches. I'll have all these measurements in my blog later today. My blog address is in the description of the video. Okay, we're matching up with the other one, keeping it straight. And then our designer series paper is going to go on top of that. Come Come on, glue bottle, don't fail me now. This is our center panel. And this for that panel. Let's go ahead and glue that in there. And this one measured 2 7/8 inches by 3 1/4 inches. Attach that to this end one. Not going to open right. Yeah. Okay. And then we've got a white layer that measures well, I'm looking at my instructions, I'm confused. The basic white is 2 3/4 inches by 3 1/8 inch. It's going to go there, but I'm going to do my stamping first in case I mess up. Set that aside. And we'll bring over Hello Friend. Hello Friend. And Spread Joy. And Love You Lots. Set up for a bit. Bring our ink pad over here. And I'm going to stamp Love You Lots at the bottom. And Hello Friend at the upper left-hand corner. And Spread Joy is going to go onto a banner, which we're going to bring it out. Guess I didn't. Let me get a strip of paper here. Got that. And they're going to fit on there. Yeah. Spread Joy. And I'm just going to cut that at an angle on both sides. Okay, this first, back over here, attach this to the inside of our card. All right, so there's our insert for the insert inside of our card. Hello Friend. And I'm going to put this other one inside our card that we didn't do on the larger one. And this is 2 5/8 inches by 4 inches. It'll go in the center panel. And match up our other ones, keeping them all in line. So we're not putting anything on that one. We're just leaving it plain. Okay. And now we're going to attach that to our card. And the larger area is going to go on the front. And fold that down in. So we're going to put glue on the inside first. Well, yeah. Get up to my edges. Hold that down. And we're going to center that. So right there looks good. And I'm going to add glue, but we're only going to put glue on the one end here. Kind of holding my finger where I don't want to have glue. Don't go past that mark. And close our card. Hold this down on top. Hold that for a moment. Okay. Pretty quiet today. Nobody's commenting. All right, so here's our card, our Z fold. Our double Z fold, I should say. And then next we're going to work on some mushrooms. And what did I do with that? Oh, I didn't even show you the stamp set. This is the Sweet Bugs stamp set and dies. You can get it as a bundle or separately. And we're going to use some dies out here. And I'm using basic beige for my mushroom stems. And these are right here. And a smaller one. So one large one and one small one. And then we've got the tops for the mushrooms. And have any plain here? Yeah, here's for the small one. And the larger one, it's this one. Okay, but I've already die cut those out already, so we're not going to do that. So we'll put these back in the packaging where they belong so we don't lose them. This set comes with a lot of cute dies. All right, and okay, I'm going to set these aside. We're going to work on the mushrooms first. Okay, so the mushrooms, it's got little dots on the mushrooms, like you can see in the paper a little bit. You can kind of see where it's got little dots. I struggled with what to use to make the dots, but I eventually did use a stamp set that had little dots on it, and I used my heat embossing with white to do those. And I'm not too sure how I like them. And then I also used the tip of my Take Your Pick tool, and I made little dots using the craft white ink. But I'm not sure which one I like better. I think we're going to stick with the embossed ones. Another demonstrator showed that she used a white gel pen, but I couldn't find mine, so I couldn't use it. But that would be an idea, an option. But we're just going to play with what we got. These are going to go on the tops of our mushrooms. And a little dab of glue. Place that down on our mushroom. And on our little one, We'll do the same. I am shaky today. All right. And we're going to add those to our card front. I'm going to start with the little one off to the side a little bit. I'm going to put him at a little bit of an angle. Now we want the big mushroom. And you kind of lean towards the other direction. All right, we might also put our sentiment on there. I'm just going to go at the upper portion. Some of it hanging off. All right, and then next, we're going to set that aside for a moment. Let me pick up all these pieces. And we're going to grab our paper. I'm going to do some die cutting. So let me find which one I need. I'm going to cut out some critters, some ants, and a bee. And we've got one there, okay. Grab my paper snips. I'm going to fussy cut some of these. And I think I'll go ahead and... Which ones did I use? Okay. So look at all those cute little critters. Love this paper. All right, we're going to bring our little embossing and cut fold machine over. And grab my plates. Still got this week. I didn't get it oiled yet. And we should be able to cut them all out at the same time. Let me grab my die for that. Here's for the ants. And this little guy reading a book. So I'm going to use my tacky tape to hold these down. Okay, had it upside down. It didn't look right to me. All right, position that where it needs to be. I think that's good there. Hold you down in place with my tape. And we'll do the little guy reading the book. It just barely fits on there. Our plate. Bring that through. See, we're still squeaking. Okay. I think that's all I have to die cut. Let me double check. Yeah. Got an ant on the loose here. And Another one, he's a leader. All right, now we're going to attach these where they belong. We're going to put the ants on the front panel. And I'm not popping them up, I'm just gluing them directly down. So let's do a dry fit here. Make sure they all fit. Okay, we're going to start with the little guy first. And then the middle guy is carrying a flag. We've got a marching parade here. And okay, so there's the front. We're going to add this little guy. Oh, I wanted a bee. I didn't cut a bee out. I'm going to go back and get the bee. This guy's going to be sitting on that stump reading his book. I don't think did I cut a bee? I don't know if I did. Nope, I don't see one. Bring our paper back over here. Well, looks like probably this one right here. I don't see no other ones. Just first cut that, and then run it through my machine, die cutting machine. And bring it back over here. And find the bee die. This one. I think it's this one. Yep. And again, I'll use my tape to hold it in place so it doesn't move on me. Bring that bee through there. Okay, so there's our bee. Add some glue to him or her. The boy or is it a girl? I'm going to place him down inside there. My other one, I had him sticking out above, but I think I like it inside better. See? Had her up towards the top more so it shows when it closed. And now it should be hidden. Yep, can't see it at all. All right, and then we've got our little cute embellishments, the ladybug garden epoxy shapes. We've got some ladybugs, and then we've got some like rain droplets to put on our greenery. And I'm just going to use one of the ladybugs today. And take your pick tool, take a ladybug off of there if I can. There we go. And I'm just going to place that up top here. All right. And if you wanted to, you could put another layer on the back to write a message or anything, but there's still room for your signature on the inside if you didn't want to do that. All right, so look how cute. Spread joy. Hello, friend. Love you lots. And it's our double Z fold card. All right, that concludes our program for today. And let me bring all of our cards over here and show what we did today. Got 2 fun folds and 1 regular. So I hope you enjoyed those today, and I hope you'll get some crafting time in to be good to yourself. All right, until next week, which will be February 12th. Let me make sure I got nothing on my schedule for next week other than being live. Yep, that's all. So February 12th, 2026, 11:30 Eastern Time, 10:30 Central Time, 9:30 Mountain Time, and 8:30 Pacific Time. I hope you'll be able to join me next week. Same channel that you're watching right now. So I want to say goodbye and thank you for being here today. And until next week, bye-bye.